And welcome to our 2021 Waco Chamber of Commerce First Pitch Luncheon presented by Walk-Ons. We're glad you're with us virtually. Wish we could all gather together, but, well, you know the reasons why we can't do that. But certainly we look forward to the day when we can get together in one room and celebrate the start of new seasons like we'll do today for Baylor and MCC baseball and softball. We're glad you're with us wherever you are tuned in today. Matt Metters with the Chamber sends his regrets. He can't be here, but he certainly wanted to thank everyone and welcome everyone to this Waco Chamber event. And we're glad you're a part of it. We are set up virtually, so settle in, sit back. Maybe you've got some Walk-Ons food that you've brought into your home or your office, wherever you're tuned in today. So enjoy that. And thanks to Walk-Ons, our presenting sponsor. Let's hear a word from Walk-Ons.
True to its Louisiana roots, Walk-Ons offers a genuine sense and appreciation and hospitality to everyone. Their idea began to take shape 35,000 feet above the earth as they sketched their vision for a floor plan on the back of a napkin while the team flew home from a road game.
So I was a walk-on the LSU basketball team in the late 90s and early 2000s, and figured out pretty early on in my career that I wasn't going to play in the NBA. We were literally on a plane ride on the way back from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, and we started doodling on a little bev nap, and the creation of Walk-Ons was there. We did it as a school project in entrepreneurship class at LSU and got a C.
The classic underdog. You know, how did you handle being told no as a kid or a grown-up, and what'd you do about it? If you're a walk-on, you play for the love of the game. You can point to the food, you can point to the cool buildings, facilities, all that, but it goes back to the culture, it goes back to the walk-on mentality. And I think there's just the story.
We improved upon that project, and we ended up getting our business plan together, and First Bank said, we love it, but no. We couldn't take the risk on young guys like us and with little experience in the restaurant business. And so, once again, that walk-on mentality kicked in, and we went to bank number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and they all said no, 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 no. What did we do? We went to number 7 and sat down with the banker, and he said, guys, if you're willing to bust your tail, we'll back you.
He was really committed to the overall food quality and the operation of the restaurant, and that to me is really what drew me to Walk-Ons. Not only do we source locally and pull shrimp from the Gulf of Mexico and do everything we can to support those local economies and those local farmers, we're also very committed to quality of food and quality in everything we do. We treat our culinary team members as chefs. We empower them to really have pride in everything they do.
And when we say Taste of Louisiana, it's just not the cuisine that you're putting in your mouth. It's the Louisiana culture. Inviting in someone to your tailgate or your home or whatever it may be.
Everybody has a place on the team. You feel welcome. There's a lot of competition for great people, and great people want to work where there's a great culture.
You have to show your team that you care. They have to know that you're valued. They have to know that they wake up for a reason. And it's only because of them that we grow. So it's what are we doing for them?
Being a part of a team is being a part of something much bigger than yourself.
You walk into our restaurants and you see something completely different, something that you would not expect. And that really comes alive when you walk into the doors at a Walk-On Sports Grill.
So what is it that makes Walk-Ons number one? Well, for starters, it's a concept committed to serving great food with a taste of Louisiana. It's a family sports bar with a game day atmosphere and an all-American team. Brandon and everyone associated with Walk-Ons share a winning culture and, most importantly, the heart of a walk-on.
I think having that walk-on mentality, whether it be sports or not, it just gives you that drive to work harder, be a great teammate, to be a great business person, to do the little extra things that makes you special. We really do live for this.
Thanks again to Walk-On Sports Bistro, our presenting sponsor for this Chamber Series. And today it is the First Pitch Luncheon, talking baseball and softball. Start of a new season right around the corner. Start of practice is here, and you can probably tell it by the weather. As soon as the weather turns bad, it turns cold, it turns rainy. It's about the start of the season for, or practice at least, for softball and baseball. Thanks to Walk-Ons, I want to mention some of our other great partners and sponsors of this event, including our gold sponsors. That includes American Bank, Baylor Bears Sports Properties, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and TFNB, your bank for life. Give them a round of applause wherever you are for our gold sponsors. Our silver sponsors, American Guarantee Title, Automatic Chef, and Patillo Brown and Hill. And our bronze sponsors for this luncheon series, Allen Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Alliance Bank, Central Texas, Baylor University, Community Bank and Trust, Dealers Electric, First National Bank of Central Texas, Home Abstract and Title Company, JRBT, and McLennan Community College. Also thanks to the Baylor Bear Foundation, the McC Foundation, Loaded Sound, Green Life Interiors, and the Greater Waco Sports Commission for their partnership in this virtual event. All right, let's get to it. We've got 4 coaches for you to hear from, then a word from the Texas Rangers as well. Let's start our program today and take a look at Baylor Softball. Oh, yes. Season, and they've done it. Strikeout number 9 on the night by Sidney Holman Manziel.
That is a fair ball, and extra bases here for Madison Kettler in the corner. Hello, triple.
Exciting to think about. Start of the season not far away, and let's talk Baylor Softball as we welcome in Coach Glenn Moore, the head coach for Baylor Softball, about to begin your 21st year. Is that possible? 21 years here in Waco.
My knees tell me that's very possible, very possible.
Of course, never a year like last year when y'all were off to a really good start. I think 19-5, 4-1 against ranked opponents, and then all of a sudden you were on a road trip to Florida, and boop, pulled the plug, and your season was over.
That's the way it happened. We were about to be tested by the mighty Florida Gators and see how good we really were, but we had knocked off some pretty good opponents to that point, and starting to fill out the team and decide which way we wanted to go with it and solidify a lineup. So we were excited about a good year, and then as with everybody, the bottom fell out.
Yeah. So. How many times have you said in the past as a coach, if I just had one more year with these girls or one more year with somebody, well, this is the year, right?
Well, I've said it quite often, but I didn't wish that for all our opponents, and right. I think they're in the same boat.
Yeah, true. But you do have a very a full roster and all your starters except one, I think, back from last year for this year.
Kyla Walker opted out, obviously disappointing. We know how good she is, but I understood it. So the rest coming back says a lot for, their desire to play the game of softball and have one more chance at it. It was unfair to them to, life can be unfair, but it's unfair to them to have it cut short in their senior year. So caused a little logjam in our program, but gives us some depth, and some competition in the fall was good and healthy, and it's just been such a long layoff right now. It's going to take a little while to get back into the swing of things and knock the rust off and get game ready.
How do you manage a larger roster, and does it give you some options maybe you haven't had in the past?
Well, it does give you options. We have much more depth. We kind of recruit outside the pitching and catching area for diversity and versatility anyway, so I think having that class come back, certainly a rising tide rises all ships, so we've been able to increase our talent level, I think, to a large degree, a lot of competition offensively, and it gives us more depth basically because we've got kids that can play infield, outfield, and we've moved some people around. We're going to look a little different on defense this year, but trying to find that right 9 to put on the field.
There is one significant loss from your program from last year to this year, and I think everybody knows Mark Lumley, your associate head coach your entire time you've been here. Mark passed away recently. That is such a loss to so many people.
Really is. I appreciate you bringing him up. He's certainly a brother to me, a close friend. Apart from softball, we lived this game together, and Coach Newman as well has been right there. The three of us, family, along with our families. So there's going to be a void. He'll always be a presence there. He'll always be a part of our program. His effect on the sport, on people's lives, will go on for a long time, John.
And you'll honor him, sort of dedicate this season to him, wear a blue ribbon, I think, on a decal on your helmets.
That's right, jerseys and our helmets, and I think we're going to acknowledge his contributions on the outfield fence as well. So we're looking at other ways to acknowledge someone who made such a significant impact on our program, and certainly continue to be there for Stacy and the boys as well. So they'll continue to be a part of our program.
What a legacy, Coach Lum has left.
He was a rock star. We use that phrase with him all the time. You go to a convention and everybody wants to talk to Lum. Like to joke with him. He had a great attitude, a lot of comedy when you're around him. But apart from that, he's very sincere, man of faith, and he's a great coach. We forget the fact that he is a great
right.
coach because he is such a great person, but he is a great coach as well.
So you have to replace him or find somebody, in that position, and I think you did a great job bringing Hoot Jonigan onto your staff.
Well, unfortunately for Lum, but 2 years ago he was going through another fight of his life, and we had to find a replacement, and we were fortunate to have Hoot join us for a year. So he got a season tryout, and I've known a lot about Hoot because he's been here longer than I have. But got to know him on a personal level, and then found out his love for people, how much people loved him. Certainly his ability to coach is I hate to say unparalleled, but it's really good. He's got all the facets covered, from communication skills to energy, high-level energy, and just his knowledge of hitting, knowledge of catching. He's going to be working with our catchers, so he was a perfect fit.
Good. We had Lumisms for all those years. I'm sure you're getting your share of Hootisms.
I got a lot of stuff on Mitch Thompson now that I didn't have.
I bet that's
Chris
right.
Berry as well. So I got a little blackmail there that I can use if I ever need it. So
Nice.
I'm learning a lot about that program over
Nice. All right. We'll get more on that later in the program. Your team on the field, what about your schedule? Has it solidified, or are you ready to be, to move and change if you need to?
Well, I think we're going to have to be flexible this year. We're prepared for that. It's been a crazy season for scheduling, teams dropping, the Big Ten going to conference only, and causing tournaments to restructure and then some to cancel. But fortunately, we're in the 50s with our game, maximum 56, so we're close to that. Some of our tournaments that we had planned on playing 5 early in the season will only play 4. That's understandable, and we're happy to get those. We're just happy to be back, John. It's been a long time, and fortunate that we're going to have a season, knock on wood, and that we're going to abide by all the precautions. And we've got a great staff here at Baylor that's putting us in the best position to do that.
Good. And y'all are practicing now, right? You started this week?
We started on Monday,
Okay.
which is
right when it started raining.
right when it started raining, as you said earlier. And we've had a couple of good days of practice off yesterday. We go again today through the week.
And a little bit of a facelift. I mean, you've done several major facelifts the last few years, but new outfield fence wall this year.
Yeah, that was kind of the last thing we needed to do to, reconstruct or put a new facelift on Getterman Stadium, is redo the outfield fence. And we'll have a green fence this year. We're taking down the brick and the brick look and putting green back as it's been for many years. And certainly will look good. We're excited about how our field will represent Baylor in the Big 12 Conference this year.
All right, you mentioned the Big 12. Nice of the Big 12 to know our timing with this luncheon today. They released the softball preseason poll just an hour ago. So we appreciate the Big 12 for doing that. And you guys are picked 4th in the preseason. What do you think about that?
It's a good conference, and it's getting stronger every year. So, we received a good many votes, but I don't really have an opinion. I don't know how any of us coaches can really know what to expect. We're going off of stuff we saw over, about a year ago, really. So we're going to just enjoy playing this year and not put a whole lot of emphasis on what anybody but the RPI polls say about us.
Well, good luck getting things going. Mid-February you start, or early February, 12th, right? That tournament is your opening tournament. Good luck getting things going. Hope you stay healthy, and we appreciate you visiting today.
I appreciate everybody and walk-ons and everybody that's been a part of making this happen today. Appreciate you, John, as well. I want to wish the best of luck to the other programs.
Very good. Enjoy those Cajun Dias, all right?
Yes, sir.
Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach, February 12th is their season opener. Let's take a look now at McC Softball. McC Softball, the first of really these four programs we'll talk about today to get going. In fact, they are on the road right now. They are traveling. They open their season tomorrow. But we sat down and pre-recorded an interview with McC Softball coach Chris Berry. Joined now by McC Softball coach Chris Berry. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Hope you had good holidays. How were holidays in the Berry household?
Very, very quiet, right? Son home from college. Didn't have a chance to go anywhere, so it was good. Just family at the Berry Essentials, I guess.
That's not the Berry Essentials. Yeah, very good. Same here, but looking at the start of the season for you, it will begin. I mean, you're jumping in pretty quick, starting on the 22nd with your schedule for the spring.
Yes, sir. We'll be driving to Youngsville, Louisiana, just outside of Lafayette. And taking on Chipola and whoever else they want us to play. Not releasing that schedule until they make sure everybody can come and kind of the travel restrictions, but it'll be a very, very tough start to our season.
How different do you think, I mean, this is kind of guessing, but how different you think the schedule might be or could change as the year goes on?
I don't really know. There are protocols in place as far as if you test and you have to you have to go through the quarantine process and within the league. Right now, everybody that we've got scheduled is on board to go. And I think if people stay healthy, it'll stay that way. But, we've seen all summer and fall. It's such an ebb and flow time for everybody. So we just adapt and overcome whatever happens. Yeah,
stay flexible.
Yeah,
that's the key.
that's exactly right.
Let's go back to last year. Your season was cut short, but you were off to a great start. I think 17-4 and 6-2 in conference. I mean, you were on a real upward trajectory when things got halted.
Yeah, we were playing really well, and actually, the funny thing, we were at Hill when we got word that we were going to kind of be backing down and taking initially a week off, and then it grew. But we were just starting to kind of hit on all cylinders, and which could have been very, very scary to play us offensively. I think we had 24 home runs in 21 games, and we were just starting to hit. We had two freshman arms that were starting to really come on and throw really, really well. The good news is they're back with experience. And it is what it is. I felt like we had a chance to compete for an opportunity to play at the national level last year. It didn't work out that way. The good news is we played a lot of freshmen. And a lot of those freshmen are back with experience, so I'm excited to see what this spring brings.
Yeah, that's the next question. Who's back? How do you feel about this year's team? I think 7 starters are back this year. Our center fielder, Lindsay Evans, is back. She had 5 home runs last year. She's a dynamic offensive player. Our 2 best pitchers are back. A couple of our infielders are back. KK Trocum's back. She's gotten a lot better. She's a local kid, obviously, out of Midway, and
and with Sean being our athletic director. But she's become a really, really good player this fall and worked really hard, so I'm excited about that. But not just what we've got back. We've got a transfer from Tyler Junior College, Bailey Krolchek, 6'1" catcher, dynamic player. So I'm really excited to see her on the field and just kind of getting them all together and mesh and see how it turns out.
Good. Now, your athletic director doesn't bend over your shoulder and say, "Hey, that KK girl, you need to give her an extra,
no,
extra look," right?
No, we talk a lot, and Sean's very cautious about some of that stuff. But the good news for us is KK is one of our best players, and so it's easy. So that's not a problem at all. But it makes for an interesting conversation post-game sometimes. So
I bet
for
that's
sure.
right. Very good. Well, I'm interested. You have 30 dates in which are competitive dates. 30 dates. You can play as many games as you want to on those 30 dates, right? So
you can play up to 3 a day.
Okay, max
So
of 3.
Three in a day. We don't do that. Part of me is, I'm an old baseball coach, so double headers are long days anyway. I'm not adding a third one in there if I don't have to. But so we've got 60 games scheduled. Playing some of the best people we can play. We'll go to Chipola's tournament. We'll turn around and we'll go play Tyler, who last year when the season ended was ranked 4th in the country. We'll play LSU Eunice, which is a perennial top 5 Division II junior college program in Eunice, Louisiana, but they're very, very, very talented every year. We're gonna play the best people we can play and challenge ourselves and try to get ready to make a run at a conference championship and a regional championship. And hopefully for us, I'll be honest, I want to win a national championship, but I'm not going to make any bones about it. That's the goal. That's why we play. So we'll state that to our players day one, and we'll start working toward that as we go along. So that's where we're at.
Good. High expectations.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, no reason to shy away from it, right?
No, I don't think so. I think, I learned a lot working with Mitch and stuff so long, and he makes no bones about his expectations either. And I think you've got to state a goal, you've got to make it public, because then there's accountability to that. Well, that's our goal, and I am stating it publicly that that's what I want this program to be at and to be at the level to do that year in and year out, and we're moving in that direction. So.
Good. Chris, for folks who are interested, they want to come watch you play, what do they need to know about coming out to see home games this year?
Well, they're working through those protocols right now. I know it's like 25% stadium capacity. So really right now that's going to be mostly families until things kind of clear up. I would check with our athletic department through the website and kind of see, and as I know more, we'll put that out on Twitter and social media to kind of see if we can't grow our fan base a little bit. But with the 25% capacity of a 750-seat stadium, so to speak, you're looking at mainly families and friends. And so we'll see how that grows through the spring.
Even outdoors. I mean, we can spread out. You can put
Yeah,
people
that's
on
right.
outfield fence, just spread out
That's right.
there and maybe get a few more people
I have
in.
actually talked to Sean about putting bleachers in left field, so
Nice,
to
good
try to
thought.
create a little bit more seating capacity, so we'll see what happens. But
Good. Well, good luck as you start the season tomorrow as people are seeing this and you're on the road, and good luck starting the season. Final thought, anything that's real key in your mind that has to go well, has to go right for you, to have the kind of season you hope to?
Well, I know we're going to hit. I'm confident about that. Our 2 returning freshman arms from last year, Gracie Crafts and Reese Taylor, if they're healthy and on with the arms that we added around them, if we can pitch the way I think we're capable of, that's how you win it, on the softball level, at any level. Baseball, softball, it doesn't really matter. You're only as good as you are in the circle or on the mound. And so our pitching has got to be what I think it's capable of, and if it is, we'll be just fine.
Good. I heard a wise softball coach say one time, you can't have too many arms.
No, you can't.
You feel like you've got good depth there also?
We have 8, which is a lot for our level. 4 of those are utility players. They play other positions, and 4 POs, but really excited to see how they all come together. But we've got real arms, so I'm excited to see them go.
Very good. I'm excited for you. Great to visit with you, and
too.
good luck getting the season started.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it, and just want to say thank the Chamber for doing this, and come out and see us play if you can.
The infield dirt is being smoothed out, and here in Houston, it's time for the Shriners Hospitals for Children College Classic. Sliced down the left field line and drops in for a base hit for Esteban Cardoza Oquendo, and it's going to chase Kyle Nevin home. There's a breaking ball hitting the hole, past the diving James. the first offering is drilled deep to left field and out of here.
Today, the Baylor Bears from the Big 12 will host the LSU Tigers.
Throw is absolutely perfect from Thomas. He swings and drives one a mile to left field. This one's headed for the train tracks. It disappears.
It's out of the stadium.
Says take that. Lifted down the left field line. He just homered. The Baylor Bears have just taken the lead. Wow. Wait a minute. Boyd with the strikeout. You think he's pumped up? And the Bears come from 4-0 down.
Saw Razorbacks.
That one line to right. Mueller will score the game's first run in the effort boxes. Oh! How about this down the left field line? This could be trouble. Martinez to third.
Attendance on the evening games. That ball's hit.
That one's going to go a long ways. And it is in the upper tank.
Sweep through the SEC field here in Houston. They hold on for a 3-2 win, and what a weekend it was for the Bears.
Well, that'll get the juices flowing. Looking back at those highlights from last year, that terrific tournament, the Shriners Hospitals for Children Classic in Houston, which Baylor swept those 3 SEC schools. That was fun. And they were just getting going, and then the plug was pulled on their season as well. Welcome in Baylor baseball coach Steve Rodriguez, beginning his 6th season here at Baylor. 6th season, 5.5.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5.
5.5 now,
After last year.
After, yeah.
Man, y'all were just getting going, but off to a really good start last year.
Man, I'll tell you what. First of all, thank you guys for having me, and I know it's just different in regards to doing it virtually, but being able to come back out here and kind of start all over again with our team is really exciting. Last year, we got off to an unbelievable start. It was really fun being able to play, go out, and watch our guys do what they did down at the Shriners Classic. And then next thing you know, March 12th hit, and everything kind of changed. But really excited for all those guys who are coming back, and the excitement that is going around Baylor right now with a lot of the athletic teams doing really well.
I think, not to dredge up old wounds, but I think y'all played the last event, didn't you? Before, like you played March 11th, and then everything ended at that point.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah,
again.
sorry.
I really appreciate it. No, but we played Dallas Baptist on Wednesday when everything started to start to take shape of what was really going to happen. I remember one of our pitchers, Daniel Caruso, coming up, and they're like, they can't end our season, can they? They can't cancel it on us. And I said, hey, anything can happen. You just never know when you start to see certain things. And I never usually bring my phone out with me at practice. And that day I did, just because there was a lot of things just in development that were happening, whether it was with the NBA or other conferences that were changing what they were doing. And so I took my phone out there, and Andy Stankiewicz, the head coach over at Grand Canyon, called, and he said, hey, Coach, our president just called. They were coming down from Arkansas, and they said, we have to stop in Dallas and catch a flight home because our season's over. And so I told our guys, well, we're not playing this weekend. So, everything got put on hold. We were actually one of the first people to go into a quarantine because of nobody really knew what was really going on. So when we went through the San Jose airport, a couple people had tested positive, and nobody knew what that meant at that time. And so we had to go into a 14-day quarantine, and next thing you know, we did that for the next 7 months.
Golly, for the next 7 months. Well, glad you're back at it. You guys are doing individual work now. I think team practice starts next week, Friday week, the 29th. What does your roster look like with these guys? I like the term you use, the super seniors, coming back for another year.
No, I'll tell you what, it's probably the most depth we've had in our program in a long time. Obviously, with super seniors coming back and a lot of the arms from our bullpen and the starting pitching will be coming back, which is great. And then we've just added some tremendous athletes coming in. So roster-wise, this fall was really fun, watching two teams compete with the talent level that they had, the energy, the excitement. I think all of them were really excited just to be out there and playing again. And as coaches, you always say the term sometimes, you got to play it like it's your last game. And I think that has new meaning to quite a few people, because for some guys last year that had an opportunity to be their last game was that Wednesday game against Dallas Baptist. So I think now when you look at it, and they realize that actually brings new meaning in today's age.
Scheduling has been interesting, tricky. Where are you in putting together a schedule right now?
Yeah, we had a full schedule ready to go, and then all the conferences started to change things in regards to travel restrictions, what they wanted in regards to distance they were allowed to go, testing protocols in regards to different conferences have different things, different schools have different things. And so pretty much, except for one weekend, our non-conference weekend has really kind of been completely redone. We're still looking to fill a couple things, but I would say right now we're at about 85–90% of it being complete. And we're pretty excited just because we know we're going to be playing games. We're close to 50 games right now. We will probably have over 50 games by the time it's all said and done. And just on one of our Big 12 coaches calls, I said, hey, if you can get anywhere between 50 and 56 games this year, I think that's going to be a pretty successful season.
Yeah, I would agree. There was some talk about you adjusting the conference schedule and playing 4 games over a weekend instead of the normal 3. Looks like that's not going to happen, at least for now, but are you keeping that as an option down the road?
Well, as coaches, we talked about it. We just wanted to make sure we got the most games possible just because our rosters are expanded. We want to make sure our guys have an opportunity to compete. And so that was a conversation. We were trying to get 4 games in 4 days. That way, guys can get proper rest. And, you know, Big 12 Conference, we are going to have some weather issues. And so going 4 games in 3 days became a little gruesome for us just to be able to look at, you know, possibly playing 4 games in 2 days if there's a weather concern or a weather issue or travel. And so we just said, you know what, let's just try to keep it as normal as possible. And so the ADs agreed to that, knowing that if things happen early on in the season, our non-conference schedule, we have the opportunity to pivot right before we get to conference and go, hey, look, too many games have been lost. Let's go ahead and play 4 games now. And so we still have the opportunity to do that.
I got you. That's good. And you are going, or right as of right now, you're playing in that Round Rock tournament. That's a good field. That'll be nice.
That's going to be so much fun. Our guys are going to have a great opportunity to go down, work with some great people down at the Round Rock Express area down there, and then at the same time a great facility with great competition. There were other teams, Big Ten teams were supposed to be in it, and that just didn't happen. Obviously, the Big Ten going into conference only, but you know, we're going to have A&M, Auburn, and then we'll play Oklahoma as well on Sunday. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know what the capacities are going to be. I think everybody's still about 25%. So whatever they're going to be able to pull in there, chances are it will be to capacity.
Good. What's the right now, and it's early, but what's the strength of your team? What do you feel best about with your team this year?
To be honest, I think depth. The depth of our team. I think we have some good speed. We have guys that can really handle the bat. We have some guys with surprising power for us right now. Pitching depth, I think, with every team right now is really good just because the amount of arms that everybody is carrying, which, you know, you might if all of a sudden someone tests positive or there's a contact tracing issue. So I think we have enough players to withstand any kind of outbreaks or contact tracing things. So that for me is a big thing, is just the depth that we have at all the different positions. And as a coach, I've told our guys that. I said, you need to know how to play every spot. I mean, there's nothing worse than knowing you can't play because you don't know how to play that position, even though you're healthy enough to do it, and that position is available because of a testing issue. So, you know, even today we're going to be going through some of that stuff and making sure everybody knows each position and what they're supposed to do there.
Good. Just the versatility in case you need somebody to plug in at a position that's not their normal position.
Right. I extended my career 2 years just by, you know, they go, hey, can you do this? Yes. And then you go figure it out as you're doing it, you know. And so, but that's the key, is just knowing the plays at those positions, where you're supposed to go, and then being able to be versatile enough to jump into another spot if you need to.
All right, and as of right now, February 19th is your season opening weekend.
That's correct. We have Jacksonville State coming in. We were excited about having them come in. Great man, scrappy club, and they're gonna come out ready to play, I think, just like everybody else is. So I think right now everybody is just waiting to get through this phase. I think Baylor's just done an unbelievable job with making sure all of our teams are playing, getting us into a safe environment, making everybody feel comfortable, and then at the same time, once all of that is done, allowing our guys to go compete.
Very nice. All right, good luck getting things going, and we got a piece of business for you here. Oh. We have a raffle drawing, okay, and you are the lucky person that gets to pick the raffle winner.
Oh, outstanding.
From there, okay?
Outstanding.
So this is the door prize drawing. It is sponsored by American Guarantee Title. It is a set of Raycon Global E55 wireless earbuds.
I'll take them. Hold on.
Yes,
let me find my name. Hold on 1 second here.
I think you selecting it, you should have one
I should at least
also.
get one of them, right?
American Guarantee Title. You talk to them about that. Who's the winner?
Ben Lacey. Congratulations, Ben Lacey.
Lacey. All right,
L-A-C-Y.
leave that right here. We'll double check it. So Ben, somebody from the chamber will get in touch with you, right? And congratulations. And thanks to American Guarantee Title for our door prize drawing today. Coach, thanks very much. Good to visit with you.
Thank you, J-Mo. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Coach Steve Rodriguez, Baylor Baseball. Let's take a look next at MCC Baseball. MCC Baseball, a lot of fun. Looking forward to this season. Welcome in Coach Mitch Thompson, beginning his 8th season as head coach of the Highlanders. And I think I started the same way with all of you coaches so far, and I don't mean to scratch the scab off, but man, y'all were off to a really good start last year. Preseason #1 last season, 19-5 when your season came to a screeching halt.
Yeah, we had a good start, and we were just really starting to get on a roll. Really felt good about our club and where we were going, and it came to a halt, and so we had to put it on the shelf. But we're even more excited to be out here going now because of what's been taken away from us. So just like everybody, we've got to make some adjustments, but boy, are we excited to get started.
I'm curious, roster-wise, how has this affected you?
We have a little bit larger roster than we have. We were able to keep 6 guys off of last year's team that were sophomores that probably would have left. They decided that they wanted to come back and have one more season. So we're older than we have been, and we've got a roster of about 39 players, which is 3 or 4 more than typically what we have.
Super softs, is that what you're calling them?
Super softs, COVID sophomores. I don't know how to talk
That's right. That's very good. Well, nice to have those options and an expanded roster. You guys in the preseason poll, I think just this week, you're number 5 in one poll, you're number 4 in another. So really high expectations again.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting that you get that national publicity. It won't help us win a game as we get started, but it's nice that other people that have done some research on it think that your club's good and that you've got a bunch of guys who can really compete. So we'll be excited to get going.
Have you started practice yet? Team practice?
We have. We've been going for about 2 weeks now,
okay.
And until Coach Moore ran the rain in here when he started practice, we had 2 great weeks. But yeah, Glenn kind of threw that in a wrench in that one, but. And we will open up a week from tomorrow. So. Oh,
very good. So you're a week away from your season opener.
Yep.
You mentioned Coach Moore, and don't let me move on without giving you a chance to for rebuttal with Hoot. Now, what do you think about Hoot coaching softball at Baylor?
Oh, I'm excited for him. I mean, Hoot needs to be on a field. You know, he's such a good coach and such a good person, and he needs to be on a field. It's what God made him to do, and so I'm excited for him. And I hate that the circumstances that he got the job because we all loved Lum. Mark's such a great guy, but I'm excited for Hoot, and I think Glenn couldn't have done better with the hire.
And safe to say, whatever stories he has on you and Chris Berry, you've got an equal number of stories.
Well, I do have a bunch of stories, but I'm going to be real quiet. Who can hurt me here?
I hear you. Very good. What's your team look like? What's the strength of your team? What are you going to really rely on?
I think the strength of our club this year is our pitching staff. I think it's the deepest pitching staff we've had. We've got some really, really quality high-end arms. Guys, that can run the ball up there 93, 94 miles an hour and throw strikes. Our depth on our pitching staff is good. So I think the strength of our team is our pitching staff. We've also got a bunch of guys, I think we're going to be good offensively. I just don't know that we're going to be maybe quite as good as we were last year. Offensively, we were really a good club last year. I had power up and down the lineup, so I like our club. We've got depth. I think we'll play good defense. I think we'll hit with some power. We'll hit for some average. I think we can win a lot of games a lot of ways, but the strength is for sure our pitching staff.
Good. Are you a theme guy? I mean, do you have a theme for this team or this year?
No, I've never been that. You know, I just I think the thing that we just strive to do is every day get a little bit better and be excellent at everything you do. I mean, it's just if we have a theme, that's it. Hey, let's win today, and so I'm excited for. I'm excited for these guys. We've got a good club. We've got some leadership. We've got a lot of new faces, 25 new faces on the team. So we only have 14 guys that have been a part of our program. So it's all new, but they've jumped in, and we've got a lot of talent. So it's fun.
That's a big number. I mean, is that more than normal as far as first-year guys?
That's the thing for junior college baseball. There's pretty good turnover.
Yeah,
you know?
I know, but
we
it just seems like a big number.
We don't have any seniors. So,
you got super softs.
Yeah, we got these super COVID softs. So no, it probably is a large number. You know, we were blessed to get a bunch of quality transfers last year, along with our high school incoming kids. So 25 new guys. So yeah.
What's the, do you know yet what capacity at the ballpark's going to be?
Well, I think it's 25 to 50% is what they're going to do. Okay. You know, people need to wear their masks. I'm excited our administration, you know, is staying with us, and they believe in our program, and they want our guys to play, and we're going to do everything we can to have parents and fans out there. And, you know, I encourage folks to come on.
Yeah.
You know, come on out. We'll see if they turn you away. If we're too full, that'll be too bad. But,
yeah, nice problem to
have.
have.
It'd be nice to get people out there.
But don't you think, I mean, being an outdoor sport, and you can kind of separate, you can go, you know, down the left field line and stand by yourself and watch the game. Don't you think that it kind of opens up some opportunities?
Oh yeah, I think being outside is a big thing, and and we just, you know, we've got to all just do a good job with it. We need to protect each other, but at the same time, we've got to get on with life.
Yeah. How have you been in practice in 2 weeks, you said? How's that gone? I mean, you feel on pace to start the season next week?
Yeah, no, we've had several inter-squad games. We've had great weather, again, until Monday, and so we've been able to take advantage of it. I like where we're at. I like where we're going. You know, the guys are starting to get ready in Nancy to play somebody else, and that's good. It'll be coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, and the protocols, you feel good about everything that's in place?
I do. I've been thankful again of how we go about it, and you know, what we've got to take care of. We just got to try and, you know, the 18, 19-year-old kids are the guys that aren't always you know, worried about it as much as they could be. So we got to keep them on their toes. But thankfully, our guys have been very respectful and you know, handling things well.
Smart. Who do you open up with next week?
Next week we start in the Sand Jack tournament. Just like what Coach Rod said, we had to juggle our schedule. We had several schools that have canceled on us because of their school actually canceling their season. So that's why we're so grateful for our administration. But we probably had to reschedule 10 different games. Wow. You know, and so we're going to open up next weekend at the Sand Jack Tournament of Champions down in Houston, play 4 different schools, and then go on the road again. And it's going to give us more road games. We're going to play 14 of our first 17 on the road.
Oh,
so
wow.
we'll know what we're made of after the first 17 for sure.
Who made that schedule?
Yeah, some idiot.
Out of necessity. And so there's some schools that you would have played or were on your schedule that aren't playing at all this year.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 schools in the state of Texas, junior college baseball, that canceled the season.
That's tough.
Canceled the season, and then all of the Dallas community colleges just did the exact same thing. So. Yeah, no, we're grateful that we have an opportunity, and I do feel for those kids and at the other schools. It's kind of interesting when they cancel the season at those schools. What ends up happening is those kids leave, and they go somewhere else, and they go play somewhere else. So the kids just shatter on. The school doesn't play, but the kids continue to play.
Wow! And
it's been kind of an interesting way to see it.
That's tough. Well, I'm glad McLennan is supportive of everything you're doing and keeping the lights on there and playing the game. So good luck starting next week.
Yeah, we've been blessed. We've got a great administration, like I said, and they're expecting good things from our kids, and they want to do everything they can to provide them the opportunity to compete. And so we're going to do the best we can with it.
Great. Good to see you. Good luck getting the season started next week.
Appreciate you, John. Thanks.
All right. That's Mitch Thompson, MCC Baseball. Their season begins 1 week from tomorrow. All right, that's a look at MCC and Baylor baseball and softball. Let's step up to the major leagues. They've got that beautiful new park in Arlington, hopeful of having fans in that park this year. How about a preview of the Texas Rangers?
I want to welcome everybody to our little chat here today and say hi to all the good folks with the Waco Chamber of Commerce. My name is Matt Hicks. I'm one of the broadcasters, one of the radio broadcasters for the Texas Rangers, and we're very happy to be able to join you in this fashion on our 2021 Winter Caravan. And joining me today to chat with you all about baseball and other stuff, we have Texas Rangers catcher Jose Trevigno and Rangers pitcher Brett Martin. Fellas, how are you?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing okay. Jose?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
That's good to hear. You know, we would normally be there with you, but due to the ongoing coronavirus issue, we're coming to you in this virtual fashion. And fellas, I just need to ask you, because for me, preparations for the upcoming season probably haven't changed very much. And I'm just curious if you guys, if your preparations for the upcoming 2021 campaign are different at all from previous seasons. Jose, we'll start with you.
No, I don't think they're any different. You know, I'm getting ready for a full year. Just preparing myself, preparing my body, preparing my mind to get ready for the grind. I mean, we're a couple weeks out. You know, everybody's starting to get that itch. Pitchers are throwing bullpens. Hitters are going to start standing in. You know, and I'm just getting ready.
And Brett?
Yeah, pretty much echo what Trevino said. Just prepare yourself mentally. Obviously, it doesn't really sound like it's going to be a normal year like what we're used to. So kind of going through it last year, I think that will kind of help us prepare a little bit to be able to go through the day-to-day, you know, protocols and whatever else we're going to have to do. So just kind of mentally preparing for that and just getting ready for hopefully 162 games.
All right. Well, in 2020, it was a season that everybody's going to remember, a very different season, just a 60-game regular season, as it turned out, that started in late July. But 2020, I think, probably a season you guys will remember for more than just that. Jose, in your case, you emerged from the season as the club's primary catcher. And Brett, for you, 2020 was challenging because you missed a little time at the beginning of the year because of a bout with the coronavirus. And then later you missed some time because of, I believe it was rotator cuff inflammation, but you still managed to get in 15 appearances, put up a sub-2 ERA. What did you guys learn about yourself during that 2020 season? And Brett, I'll start with you on this one.
I was just trying to figure out a way to get back on the field, you know, any way you can, especially with her only playing 60 games last year. It was tough, and there was kind of that added pressure, you know, like I needed to get back, I needed to get healthy and get back on the field and, you know, help contribute to some wins. So there was definitely that pressure, but just learned that with some patience and you know, still working hard no matter what, it was possible.
And Jose?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a different season for everybody. You know, it was just different. You know, you go to certain cities, you're used to seeing people everywhere, and there's nobody there. But for me personally, you know, I tried to take advantage of it because I knew that there was going to be people like, hey, you know what? I need fans in the stands to play. I need to do this. I was like, you know what? Let's get on the field. Let's play. Like what Brett said, you know, let's get out there. Let's play some games. And then also what Brett said, like, there's 60 games. Like, you got to play, and every day you have to show up. Every game means, you know, ×2. So yeah, just getting back on the field, getting out there, and it was different, but you know, we got it in and we're moving forward.
So we don't know what 2021 is going to look like necessarily, but since the end of the baseball season, other sports leagues have been able to play. Now it's been different, but they all clearly have had their challenges. We've seen the NBA start up again. We know that the NHL is starting up again. So do you guys have sort of a sense, and I hate to characterize it this way, but do you have sort of a sense that 2021 for baseball might be at least a little closer to normal than what you experienced in 2020?
I think it will. to be totally honest, watching all the other sports go through it and protocols and stuff, I think baseball handled it the best, to be honest. Everybody, and not only baseball in general, but the Rangers, like the training staff, the players, we followed every protocol. So we showed that we could, play a full season if we really wanted to. Of course, we never know what's going to happen in between, but we know that, with the protocols, with social distancing, us, not leaving our room only for certain things to go eat, maybe some meetings, they know that we can do it. So I don't know if there's a reason for us not to do it, but we just have to wait and see now.
And Brett?
Yeah, I agree with Jose there. That going into this year, COVID's still here. It's still going to be around. Who knows how long it's going to be here for, but just going through it last year, nothing's going to be new. We know how to handle it, the protocols and all the safety guidelines and everything like that. So I don't think it's really going to be that big of an issue. Like Jose said, we did our part last year and showed that we could all stay healthy and follow the rules and play 60 games. So I don't see why we couldn't play 162. And hopefully, if things can hopefully start getting better, then even if it's 25% capacity in the new stadium, just some sort of fans would be, pretty cool, I think, for players and fans both.
Very good. All right, I got to ask you guys, and we don't have a whole lot of time, but we've got some time here. We're talking to people with the Waco Chamber of Commerce, and it's their job to tell folks around the country all the benefits to living and working in Waco, Texas. Now, you guys hail from different parts of the country. Jose, you're originally from Alice, Texas, and you went to high school in Corpus Christi. And Brett, you're from Morristown, Tennessee, which is up in the northeast corner of that state, not too awful far from Knoxville, a little northeast of Knoxville. So from a Chamber of Commerce kind of perspective, if you had to tell folks all of the great things about where you grew up, what would you tell us? And Jose, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about Alice, Texas, and Corpus Christi, Texas.
So Alice, a little outside of Corpus. I'll claim Corpus, but for me, it's the people, it's the food, it's the traditions, and also they have minor league baseball there. They have a great college, the Island, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and like I said, the food. I think the food drives people. And then it's beautiful. It's the beach, it's the water. You got fishing. I love where I'm from. I love the culture. I love the people there. And I think you visit Corpus Christi, you'll definitely take something away from it. And I think you should go visit because I'm from there. So we don't have Dr. Pepper, but
That museum is definitely in Waco. So Jose, I've got to ask you then, have you been to La Ribera #2 in Corpus Christi? Have you been to that restaurant?
I have. Oh yeah, I've been awesome. Hicks, you name it, I've probably been there once or twice, probably barefoot too. So, it's I love Corpus. I love that place.
Very good. And Brett, will give you the opportunity to tell us all about Morristown, Tennessee.
Man, there's not too much going on here, but like we talked about before we started this, I live probably 5 minutes from Cherokee Lake, and there's some pretty decent fishing. I know they'll have a lot of fishing tournaments on it, throughout the summer and stuff. And most people, like my friends and family, like they're fishing or hunting, or that's really about it. We also have Davy Crockett's homestead. Is like on the side of the road. It's kind of a little museum you can go to. It's kind of cool. And there's also a Davy Crockett restaurant, which is just kind of like, Southern cooking is very good. Walter State, the college I went to, is about 5 minutes from my house. You could be in town in 7 minutes, and you can be outside of town in the middle of nowhere in 7 minutes. So it's kind of, I don't know. That's about all there is and more stuff.
All right. So I've got to ask you guys, and I don't know, Jose, if you ever did any fishing in South Texas, but have you guys ever fished together?
I don't.
Oh wait, in Hickory,
actually we did.
In Hickory,
yeah, we did. We went deep sea fishing in Hickory. Yeah, that was
that's a whole nother story. That's a good trip. Yeah.
Well, perhaps for another time, one of those minor league stories when you guys played together for the Hickory Crawdads. And so, well, we'll save that for another time. But it's been great chatting with you both again, Jose Trevigno, catcher for the Rangers, and Brett Martin, relief pitcher for Texas. Great to have you guys here today, and hopefully folks from Waco will have an opportunity to see you up close and in person in the not too distant future.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yep. All right, and to everybody in Waco, we appreciate the time, and again, we hope to see you again very soon. Take care.
Hey, great to get a preview, a winter caravan preview of the Texas Rangers. Hope we have a chance to go up to Globe Life Field for some games this season. Hope you'll take advantage to support MCC and Baylor baseball and softball through the spring. McC Softball and Chris Berry, they are starting tomorrow. They're at a tournament in Louisiana. Mitch Thompson and MCC Baseball open at Sand Jack a week from tomorrow. Baylor Softball, Glenn Moore, they open on February 12th, the tournament on the road. And then Baylor Baseball opening at home on February 19th at Baylor Ballpark. Certainly there will be restrictions in place. Right now about 25% I think is what it is, but I hope you'll take advantage to get out and support these teams, these programs over the course of the year. Thanks again for being with us today in our Waco Chamber First Pitch Luncheon presented by Walk-Ons Sports Bistro. Thanks very much to Walk-Ons. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes that made this happen today. Hope you enjoyed it and hope that whets your appetite for baseball and softball season, which is right around the corner. Stay safe, mask up, stay socially distanced, and we appreciate you being here today. Thanks very much, and so long for now.
We've been called the next great city in Texas. A city of builders, innovators, doers, launching toward the future. A city where the students of today will be the leaders of tomorrow. A city where hard work is part of our DNA. A city of people who enjoy life and the sweetness of each day. A community where people make the difference and everyone can prosper. Welcome to Waco.